Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday and welcome back to Love Talks. I'm your host, Ina Love. Today, in this new segment, we will be talking about "'Tis the Season to Create, Creating the Life You Want." If you've been watching Love Talks for the past several weeks, we've been in this series of "'Tis the Season," which I thought was quite appropriate because, we've just gone through the holiday season, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, this festive time of year, or a time of year that's typically very festive, although we all know it has been impacted by everything that's happening right now. But the purpose of this segment, "'Tis the Season," is really to remind us that no matter what is going on in the world, and truly throughout the year, it's really not a season of joy. It's not a season of love or a season of believing or a season to let go. Or even today, as we talk about the season to create, this series is a reminder that these things are always available. These things we always need to think about and realize that we are actively creating in our lives. Before we dive into the segment, I want to just remind you, especially if you're new to Love Talks, I've been doing these weekly Sunday segments at 5 o'clock each Sunday. Sometimes I take the holidays off. But you can find all of the segments on my YouTube channel at Ina Love Poetry. If you'll take the time to go by and subscribe and maybe browse through some of the segments that I've done. Also, on my website, you can find all of the segments, and the website is somethingaboutlove.foundation.org. So just a little reminder. So today, we're going to talk about the season to create and creating the life you want. So, life is happening now, right now. We look at the world and we're all very much aware of everything that's happening. The life we know has shifted in some way. However, life is happening now. There's not a later, there's not, when this happens or when this is over or when that changes. Life is always happening, and we have to move with it and make the best and the most of it in any circumstance. And as I just said, the purpose of this segment is just to remind us of all the things that we need to be creating and bringing into our lives at all times. All of the things that we want: love, joy, happiness, peace. All of these things we have to keep in our minds and on our hearts and create that as our reality. The truth is, we are all creators. We co-create our experience, our lives, with God, with source, with the universe, whatever name you use for God. We are all co-creating with that source, and we are co-creating at all times. But we have to be very conscious and aware of what we're creating, because there are many of us who are creating unaware, meaning we are not taking an active part in creating our lives. Perhaps some of you may not even be aware that you have such, what is the right word? You have such a huge part in your life experience and everything that is happening in your life. And you'll see this more clearly as we go through this segment. But again, I really just want to get you thinking in a mindset that you are creating your reality, and we are all very much responsible for a lot of what happens in our world. And when I say our world, I mean each of us. We are all individually creating our own world within, the grand scheme of things, the whole world itself. We each have our own individual world that we are creating. within that. So we want to, again, just kind of get the, start thinking in that manner. So I would ask, what exactly are we creating? I think some of us may not even really know what we want in life. Like, perhaps you've never even really contemplated, what is it that I truly want? Like, in a perfect world, what would I want my world to look like? And are we thinking in those terms? Are we putting that energy into our lives? So would you say that, you're actually on your path, that you are fulfilled in your life, that you're happy, that you have the things that you want? Or do you at least feel that you are working in that direction? And again, these are things that we need to think about in order, for God to co-create these things with us. Again, it's all about awareness. Awareness truly is the key to taking control of the direction of your life. So we want to start to steer our lives in the direction that we're wanting things to go. And within that, you have to be very clear and very sure of what it is that you're wanting. Because the truth is, God, source, the universe, again, whatever name you use, God wants us to have everything that we want. God wants us to be happy, wants us to be fulfilled in our lives, wants us to have all of the things that we want. But we have to be clear, we have to be sure, we have to know what we want. The truth is, God truly knows our hearts, already knows what we want. But if we are not aligned with it, if we are not open to it, if we're fearing it, we are truly closing the door somewhat, not completely, but we have to energetically align with everything that we're wanting. So this will get more and more clear as we go through this segment. But God truly does have a plan for us. As I said, we just have to be clear and sure about what it is that we want. And if you don't know exactly what it is that you want for your life or in your life, you can even ask that question, because again, God, the universe, is all knowing, knows our hearts, has a plan for us. You can literally ask. And I myself asked this question years ago and I got an answer. And my question to God was, I want to know what I want. So you can even start there. If you're not even sure of what you want in your life, ask, and truly it will be revealed to you. And be patient, because the answer can come in the most unexpected ways. Like, literally, it can come in any way. It could come in a dream. It could come through an absolute stranger. It could come, even an idea might spark in a movie. You might wake up one morning and you just know. So, perhaps something revealed in a dream that you don't even recall. You might actually even hear the voice of God. Again, your answers, whatever you ask for, the answers can come in any way. But we do have to ask, and we have to be still and be patient, be open, and listen. Listen, truly listen with your heart, and be open and available to hear and to receive, and to be very clear about what you want. So I'm always, as I say, or like to say, I'm always planting seeds, sharing the things that I have learned in my own personal journey, in my own understanding of life and the way that life works. I'm sharing with you the things that I have learned, the things that have helped me, the things that have given me understanding and clarity, and the way information has come to me. So if anything that I share resonates with you, just remember it and put it into practice in your own life. If it doesn't resonate, that's okay too. You could toss it aside. I think we always have to use discernment with anything that we listen to, with anyone that we listen to, because our own truth lives within each of us. So, we get to decide what our truth is. But I am sharing with you what I have found to be what I believe to be true. So just wanted to share that. Um, and again, as I just was sharing, we are all very, very powerful creators. We are co creating with God. Every thought that we think, every word that we speak, we are constantly manifesting and creating the things that are happening in our lives. So you may wonder, if that is the case, then why doesn't everything we speak or everything that we ask for or everything, all the things that we want in our hearts, why don't these things happen? Well, there are several reasons. And one of them being perhaps it's just not time. Sometimes we want things, but it's just not time for it. Perhaps it's not meant to be. We may want things that are just not for us. They are not in alignment with the divine plan that, I believe there is a divine plan for each of our lives. So perhaps that whatever that thing is that you're wanting is just not in the plan for you. It can also be, and this is, I believe, to be a very big one, a very big reason. We have to align in a frequency of what we're wanting, and what that means is everything is energy. Everything, every thought we think, every word we speak, it carries an energy, a vibration, a frequency. And that frequency goes to the universe. However, if we don't truly believe what we're asking for, if we're afraid to have what we're asking for, it's not possible to receive it at that time. You have to align with it in order for it to manifest or come into your life. And I think that's a big part that a lot of us may not realize or forget, or, just again, something very important to be aware of, that you have to align vibrationally with what you are asking for by releasing the fears, releasing the doubts, and truly, in some cases, actually becoming what it is that you're asking for. So, again, this will become more and more clear as we go through this segment. Let's see. And I wanted to give an example of that because I said, sometimes we ask for things and we don't actually receive them. Take, for instance, there are a lot of people who want to be famous. Many of us who aspire to be artists or performers or, something of that nature. And many people are very talented and want to be famous. Well, why doesn't it happen? Because we hold those underlying fears. And oftentimes we're not even aware that those things are there, or some type of a belief system that we hold. I mean, truly, the only thing that ever stands in our way is ourselves. So if we can uncover and discover all of the things, all of the blocks, everything, all of our thoughts, everything that we are holding that is preventing us from having the things we want, is truly how we open the door to receive them. Because, all things are possible. But again, we have to align with it energetically and on the frequency of what we're asking for. And that happens with absolute faith, with trust, with belief, with a deep inner knowing, a truly open and receptive mind and heart to receive. So believe me, I'm aware of all of these things. I'm not saying that it's easy, because life is very complex. If it were that easy, believe me, who knows what the world would look like if we all just, spoke and speak words and then everything just happens instantly. It's not that easy, but we do have to do the work. We do our own inner work to heal everything that we need to heal, to release everything we need to release. Again, to be completely open on every level, mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, ready and available to receive the things that we're wanting. So we do have to take a part in our lives. We have to take responsibility for our lives, and we have to put in the work, do the inner work to receive the things that we're wanting and to live the life that we're wanting. So I want to mention something else about, this whole idea of the frequency of things. So if you, I'm just using this as an example. Let's say you have a day where you're just out in the world, or actually it may not happen in one day. This could be something that you notice that just happens frequently or from time to time or whatever. But let's say you're out in the world or at home or anywhere. You can be talking to someone on the phone or any type of interaction. But let's say that you find that you're constantly met with people who are angry. You're like everywhere you go, this person was angry, that person was angry. I talked to someone on the phone, they were angry. Well, that is an opportunity for you to look within, because what is happening is that there could be something that you are holding that you may not even be focused on or perhaps even aware of, but there's possibly, I'm going to say possibly, something that you are holding on to that you are angry about, and it's causing you to attract angry people into your lives, because everything that comes to us matches us. It's a frequency, it's a vibration. It can also be that you hold a belief system. And what I mean by that is, if you have a belief that the whole world is angry, everyone is angry, then everywhere you go, I mean, obviously not everywhere you go, but you know what I'm saying. You're going to often be met, or you're going to often encounter people who are angry. So every experience that we have is an opportunity to look within ourselves to see if we are either holding that or if we have that belief system. Because, life itself is a teacher and we learn from everything. So look at the things you're having. Look at the type of people that you're meeting. What are they presenting you with? And I just used anger as an example, but whatever it is, you need to look deeper than just what that person is saying to you. Look at it, internalize it to see if you are holding that type of energy or frequency or that belief system. Because if you release that, that type of experience will go away. So just, again, something to be very, very much aware of. Okay. So last week in the Love Talk on, what did we talk about last week? The power of setting yourself free and letting go. I mentioned a book by Emmett Fox. It's called The Mental Equivalent. It's actually just a short story. It takes about an hour to read this book, but it's all about how we create our reality through our mental beliefs. He calls it the mental equivalent, meaning that everything that happens in our lives is the mental equivalent of our thoughts and our beliefs, and basically the energetic frequencies that we hold. Whether we know this or not, this is true of all of us, and many of us are creating unaware. So we need to be aware that our thoughts and the words we speak, we're constantly manifesting. So it's all the more reason why we want to be very cautious and very deliberate in the words that we speak, in the thoughts that we're thinking. Keep your thoughts positive and focus on what you want as much as possible. So because this book was such a beautiful reminder for me, if you don't mind, I want to share a powerful paragraph from this book, just to really drive home this concept that I'm sharing with you today about, how we create in our lives. So if you don't mind, I'm going to share this because I think it's something really powerful to understand. It says, we live in a mental world. And to know this is the key to life. If a child could be taught only one thing, it should be taught that this is a mental world. I would let all other things go and teach him that. Whatever enters your life is but the material expression of some belief in your own mind. The kind of body you have, the kind of home you have, the kind of work you do, the people you meet are all conditioned by and correspond to the mental concepts you are holding. The Bible teaches that from beginning to end. I'm putting it in the language of metaphysics. The Bible gives it in the language of religion, but it's the same truth. About 20 years ago, I coined the phrase mental equivalent. And now I want to say that for anything you want in your life, a healthy body, a satisfactory vocation, friends, opportunities, and above all, the understanding of God, you must furnish the mental equivalent. Supply yourself with the mental equivalent, and the thing must come to you. So that's the frequency, that vibration that I'm talking about. Without a mental equivalent, it cannot come. Now, as to the things in your life that you would like to be rid of, everyone has such things. Perhaps bodily difficulties, faults of character are the most important. We all have habits of thoughts and action, and we all have business, family, and personal conditions we would like to be rid of. If we rid our mind of the mental equivalent of them, they must go. So again, that means letting go of the belief of whatever that idea is that you're holding. If you let it go, that thing, whatever it is, will go. And I have seen this. I've actually put this in practice and seen it make changes in relationships and in many circumstances, things that were happening in my life. So this is the last little part of this. Everything that you see or feel on the material plane, whether it is your body, your home, your business, or your city, is but the expression in the concrete of a mental equivalent held by you. Everything in your city is the embodiment of the mental equivalents held by its citizens. Everything in your country is the embodiment of the mental equivalents held by the people of the country. And there's one last part. And the state of the world embodies the mental equivalent of the millions of people who make up the world. So, to sum that up, basically what he's saying is that through our own thoughts and beliefs, we are creating our world individually and as a collective. So we have a huge responsibility in what we're creating, a huge part in what we're creating. And the key is to be aware of that, to become a conscious creator where you are actively creating the life that you want. So I thought that was really beautiful and powerful to share. And I hope that really helped to drive home this whole concept. Okay, so let's see, where are we? Okay. And as I said, just to be very patient about the things that we're wanting in life, to know absolute faith and belief is vital and important. So again, I just really want each of us, myself included, to take a very active role in creating our lives. And, I realized this when I was writing this segment. One of the things that I love about doing Love Talks, as much as, I'm really enjoying sharing, but also me sharing with you, this is beautiful reminders for me too. So there's some real truth in the statement, in helping others, we help ourselves. So, as I go through this, I'm just it just really energizes me. And it just it makes me really excited because, I'm reminding myself as I'm sharing all of this with you. And I think I do. I'm a very conscious person. I'm very conscious about the things that I say and do. But everything is it's just a beautiful reminder. So I believe that all things work for good. You know, if we look at the world today, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of, well, anyway, if we look at the world today, there's so much that is happening that, many things that we wish were not happening, things we want to go away. We want this to end. We want this to be over. But, we don't always understand why things are happening. I do believe that God's hand is in everything. I absolutely believe that without a shadow of a doubt. And I believe that all things work for good, even, the bad things. I'll just say it that way. The bad things that happen in life. I think there's always something good that is trying or seeking to emerge. There's always an opportunity to learn something, to grow, to heal. Like, we don't always understand why things happen, but we have to trust that everything is in divine order, is part of a divine plan that, again, we may not completely understand, but we have to make the best of life in the midst of every circumstance. So although we're going through all of these things in the world right now, again, I'm inviting you to remember that you're still co-creating your own world within this big thing that's happening. We are all creating our own individual responsibility, our own individual reality. So be very conscious and aware of what you're creating. Let's see. Also, as again, we're talking about being conscious creators, taking an active role in our lives. Be very cautious and aware of your thoughts, of your feelings, of the things that you're speaking. You don't want to continue to put a lot of energy into the things that you don't want. For instance, when something bad happens in your life, people have a tendency, like, they want to go and tell every person they know. Well, really, we should maybe share those things with a couple people, and then you have to let it go and move on and focus on what you want, because the longer we stay focused on the things we don't want, we're giving that more and more energy. So we really have to work on shifting the way that we move through the experiences that we have in life, particularly the more challenging experiences that we go through, because you don't want to continue to feed those things. Really, we energetically, on that vibrational level that I'm talking about, that frequency, we are fueling that thing and allowing it to continue, versus taking your thoughts and attention away from it and allowing it to heal, allowing your experience. Like, you can actually help to move through that experience much faster by putting some positive thoughts on that, just holding the idea of whatever that situation is, focus on that situation being resolved. Whatever outcome it is that you want, focus on that. Put your thoughts and energy and attention on the outcome that you want. And we do actually have the ability to affect our situations in that way. So again, this is just all something really good to be aware of, because they don't teach us these things. I actually went seeking truth and knowledge and understanding, and I came to understand all of these things. So I'm sharing with you truly the way that life works. So I'm introducing this to you, or offering this information to you. And as I said, it's up to you to really do your own homework and research and come to your own understanding, and explore these things, to really take an active part in your life and creating the life that you want. So with that being said, talking about, the things that we speak and the things that we're creating, remember that we are always speaking life. We speak, our words have that energetic frequency and that vibration. So we want to speak of the things that we want, speak like the things that I claim every day, that I live in a peaceful world, that I am a healthy person. I am happy, that all things are working for my good, that, everything that comes to me is in divine order, and, just whatever it is that you want to say, but speak some very clear and powerful truths over your life. And again, you're manifesting, you are creating your reality, and it really does make a difference. And as you start to see this or start to do this, because believe me when I tell you, it's not just words. So that's really what the whole concept or the idea of this frequency or the vibration of things. It's not a matter of just speaking these words. You have to believe it, you have to know it, you have to feel it. And then you become aligned with the frequency of what it is that you're wanting. And that is truly how we open the door to receive those things. So, FYI. Let's see. So we talked a lot about creating the life that you want. So I want to talk a little bit about tapping into your creativity, because the light of God lives in each and every one of us. As the Bible teaches, as Jesus spoke to all of us, that all that he can do, we can do. And that truly is the power of God that works with us, through us, and as us. We are co-creators, as I said, creating our life, our reality with this universal intelligence, the supreme, God. Just, it's God. It is the all-knowing intelligence. God is everything. But in that, we are also creators, creative. And so many of us, I hear people say things like, oh, I can't sing, I can't dance, I'm not a creative person. Well, again, we speak life. When you speak these things, you are claiming that as your truth, as your reality. The light of God, as I said, lives in all of us, and we are all capable of all things. We have to, again, align with that frequency energetically by believing, by just allowing. And I'm going to give you a beautiful example of that. If you follow my page, or the information that I share on my Facebook page, about a month or so ago, maybe a couple months ago, I actually decided to try my hand at painting. I love art, and I've always admired art and people who can paint, and I just thought I would try it. And simply by believing that I could, and I promise you, I believe with all my heart, I know that is the reason that I was able to create what I did. It shocked me, honestly. But if you want to go back and look back through my page, I think it was in November, but I painted this beautiful portrait of a lion. And, I've been to one of those paint and sip classes, they call it, where you go and drink wine and you paint a little, it's like make a triangle. And, I've done that kind of thing before, but this time I actually tried to paint something. And it took me about 4 or 5 days. And the first few days I was kind of laughing at it because it was pretty funny, but I was so determined, and I just kept going and kept going. And I'm sharing this because, again, I was truly surprised by the outcome. I mean, I'm not calling myself Picasso or anything like that, but I was very surprised by what I was able to do. And truly, it was only because I believed that I could. I did not tell myself, oh, I'm not an artist, I can't paint, I'm not going to be able to do this. Like, I just kept saying that I can do this. And I actually created something that I truly love. So again, I'm sharing that to say that we are all very creative beings, and we block our creativity by believing, or failing to believe that we can. As you think, so it is. If you think you can't, you can't. If you believe you can, you will. So, this may be a whole new concept, but if you keep telling yourself that you can do it, because for so long we've been telling ourselves that we can't do something, just, start by telling yourself that you can. And just know that everything is possible. So I just wanted to share that as a personal example that, I actually put that into practice and was able to create something just by believing that I could. And I know for a fact that's the only thing that made that happen because, I've always wished I could paint, but, I always said, oh, I'm not an artist. I'm not a painter. Just, I wasn't open to really allow myself to do that. But I know, again, that's what made the difference. So if there's something that you really want to do, whatever it is, even if it's singing, truly, if you believe that you can, I think with a few voice lessons that any of us can sing, we can dance, we can do all things. You just have to believe in yourself. So many of us, I think, look for other people to inspire us, and we want someone else to encourage us, but we really have to do that for ourselves. Encourage yourself, believe in yourself, tell yourself you can, and know that truly you can do anything. And with this whole concept, like everything that I'm sharing about creating the life that you want and tapping into your creativity and all of these things, I would suggest that if you have negative people in your life, and of course, obviously, we've all encountered negative people, which again is an opportunity to look within ourselves. Are we being negative? Do we hold some belief about negativity? Again, everything is an opportunity to learn something about ourselves. But if you do have someone who's very negative in your life and you're wanting to, either try and create something for yourself or again, tap into your creativity, I would suggest not sharing it with them, perhaps, just initially, because other people's negative comments, their negative thoughts or beliefs about us can impact your outcome if you allow that. If you are the type of person who, if someone says something about you that your feelings are hurt easily, or you might believe, if you know what I'm saying, if you say to someone, oh, I'm going to try this, and their first response is, oh, you can't do that, you don't know what you're doing, or people who say those kind of things, if you take that on as your belief system, you are truly hindering your ability to do those things. So, just saying, to be aware of who we share with, share your ideas and your dreams and your hopes for your life. Share that with the people who support you, the people who encourage you, the people who want the best for you. And we know the difference. We all have those true friends who really want the best for you. And we have friends who, you know, maybe they're jealous, maybe they're envious, or, whatever that thing is. So again, just something, a little food for thought. Let's see. And I would add to that, whatever it is that you are wanting to create for your life, particularly if you already know what that is, the life that you want to live, perhaps even your purpose, or, we've all have dreams that we hold for ourselves. You have to believe, just keep believing no matter what is happening in your life, no matter what is going on around us. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't ever stop going forward. We have to go forward, even in the midst of everything that's happening. Like I said, life is now, and we are creating always. We are always creating. So every day, again, I speak, and I'm not worried or afraid of anything that's happening in this world, because I claim each and every day that I am safe, that I live in a peaceful world, that I am happy and joyful, and all of my needs are met, and I am loved, and all of the things that I want. And again, I'm talking about my own little world within this great big world. And as I'm creating my own world, I'm holding a vision for the entire world, a vision of peace, a vision of love. I'm holding that in my heart because I know that is what God wants for all of us. And we have to believe that it's possible. If we don't believe something is possible, whether you're creating for yourself or a vision for the world, if you don't believe it's possible, it can't be. So just believe, just believe. Believe that all things are possible. I believe in miracles. I believe in God. I believe in love. I believe, in so many things, so many good things. There's so much good to life. Be conscious, be aware, be present. Take an active role in your life and focus on what you want. And also, very, very important, be thankful. Be thankful. We have so much to be thankful for. And particularly if you are working to create something in your life, if anything happens that aligns with that, I don't care how small it is. Seriously, let's say, for instance, if you decided you want to sing, and tomorrow you open your Facebook page and someone posts a free voice lesson. Believe me, that is God at work. And if you see any little thing show up that aligns with what you want to create for your life, give thanks. Give thanks. Gratitude is so powerful. Everyone wants to be appreciated. Everything wants to be appreciated. So give thanks to God for your life, for all the good, for everything that is aligned with what you're wanting for your life. All of these things we need to be aware of. And again, taking that active role and being responsible in life. Let's see. So today I am inviting all of you, anyone listening or watching this segment, I'm inviting you to dream and dream big. The, the universe is abundant. Truly, there are no limits in life. We can have anything, everything is possible. We have to believe these things. Believe. Like I said, that power of believing is everything. And whatever it is that you're wanting, keep telling yourself that you can. Just get still, get focused, get in the flow, in that frequency. And believe me, the more time, the more energy, the more effort, the more attention, the more focus, the more that you put into it, the more that you're going to get out of it. What we put in is what we get out. So whatever it is that you're wanting to do, if you're wanting to write, and I read somewhere once that said like 83% of the population wants to write a book, but only actually 3% has actually done that. If you're wanting to write, just get clear about what it is that you want to write. Get still and listen. Listen with your heart. Just allow it to flow. Don't overthink. Just trust it and let it flow. I believe that I shared on one of my love talks. This was several weeks back. I want to say it was in the Power of Love segment, that I woke up one morning and there was a book on my heart. I wasn't planning to write that book, although I do have several ideas of books that I want to write. But that morning, I woke up and that book was just on my heart. I must have had a dream. I just woke up that morning and I knew what I had to do. And I just grabbed my computer and I started writing. And in 6 weeks, I had written a 300-page book. Believe me, I wasn't just sitting around thinking about, what should I say now? Like that, something was flowing. So I was just open and allowing that to happen. So, again, believing in yourself is so powerful and important. And whatever it is that you want to do, you can do it. Just keep telling yourself that you can. And like I said, block out all the things, any thoughts, anything that's going on that does not support or encourage what it is that you're wanting. Block it out. Believe me, I call my home, I call it my little bubble. I am here in my little bubble and I am safe here. I'm protected here. I'm not afraid here. I'm at peace here. Create your world and let it be the world. Allow it to be the world that you want it to be, because we all have a right to live joyfully and peacefully and have all of the things that you want. So continue to dream. Don't give up on your dreams. Believe in yourself. Keep thinking positive thoughts. Send your love and prayers and well wishes to the world and keep believing, because we will get through this. It's just a matter of time. Everything has a season, everything has a time. And, you know, we are in this experience right now. God only knows why. I do believe a lot of it has to do with human error, I will say, but I do also know that we're going to get through this. So it's just, one day at a time, through the power of faith, the power of believing, trusting in God, sending love and healing vibes to the world. Like, literally just sometimes just get still and imagine a peaceful world. Because again, as I shared in that book today, everything that's happening in our world is our collective thoughts. So be a positive influence on the world. Let your contribution to the world be something positive, something that moves our world in a positive direction. So again, that conscious creating in our lives and in our world. So that is our love talk for today on the power of creating and creativity. I hope that was helpful or useful. I do have a poem that I'm going to share today. It's titled I Wonder, which I think is fitting for this segment. And also to announce the winner of the book drawing for this week is Sanji Carter. And I hope I pronounced your name correctly, but I'll reach out to you for information so I can send a copy of my book of poetry. It's called Something About Love. And you guys know that I typically share a poem in every segment each week. So in each week I hold a drawing and give away a book. So if you're interested in that, leave a like or a comment and you'll actually automatically be entered in the drawing for next week. So I'm going to share this poem titled I Wonder, and then we'll close out our segment for today. And next week, I'm thinking to do a segment about bringing peace into our lives, because I just really feel that's what we all need right now. So I'm thinking, that's me thinking right now, I'm thinking that next week will be a segment about peace, something on that line, but we'll see how it flows. And of course, I'll let you know. So I wonder, if I had a single wish, what would the one wish be? Would I use the wish to make a difference for humanity? Is there a way to measure happiness? Do we really know? If life is but a dream, will I wake up as I grow? Am I truly pleasing God? Have I gotten some things right? I ask myself this question when I lay to rest at night. When it's all been said and done, did I live for goodness sake? If I had to do it all again, what choices would I make? Have I learned the lesson sent to me from heaven up above? If my heart is truly open, do I absolutely love? Is it wrong to forgive and remember? If the memories are few, can I release the fears that keep my dreams from coming true? If I'm not to judge another, why must I face judgment's door? Why does it trouble me to wait? Patience I adore. Why am I asking questions? I know God has the plan. Will I receive what comes to me and then outstretch my hand? Am I living life for purpose? Will I truly get it right? Can I really make a difference? Do I shine my inner light? Could I teach another person to live life and be free? Could I teach the world to love, allowing God to work through me? Will I? Well, I wonder. So I thank you guys so much for listening, for watching, for joining me for Love Talks. I really enjoy sharing. And as I said, I truly hope that something I share is beneficial or helpful. If you ever have any questions about anything that I share, please feel free to message me, or, of course, you can leave your comments and I'll be sure to respond to those. And if there is anyone you think could benefit from Love Talks, please, you can tag them here, or tell them about Love Talks, because I'm doing this to help. So I truly hope that it is helpful. So I wish you guys a beautiful, safe, healthy, happy week ahead. Stay positive, stay focused, and remember that you are a creator, and be very conscious of what you're creating. So I'll see you guys next week. Take care.